I had a mentor earlier in my life who gave me a piece of advice and said, Steve, always tell the truth and you'll never have to remember what you said. And so I've developed that approach over the years, tried to refine it, but have come to realize very specifically a few weeks ago that it's got its downfalls. This is the obvious downfall of transparent leadership, that you'll share a lot of information. People will, maybe reshare the information when they're not supposed to, draw the wrong conclusions about information. In some cases, even compromise some of your competitive advantage. And that's why I think leaders spend a lot of their time thinking about how much information to share and how to package up that information. Employees are looking for sincerity. And one thing that tips employees off to a lack of sincerity is when you're very scripted. They're not looking for a White House press briefing. They're looking for you to seem relaxed, open, and as if you're not hiding anything from them. And I find that it's challenging to be that sincere and that transparent, especially when ideas or conclusions aren't fully formed. I had to share some information with my company, with all of our employees a few weeks ago, because it was something that I was working on, a project that I'm in process of working on. It wasn't completely finished, but I heard that they might find out from a news outlet about what I was working on, and that was completely intolerable to me. I knew that it was a big decision and something people would want to know about, and I insisted right away, people need to hear it from me first. So I spent some time, as a lot of leaders do, crafting these all-employee emails, thoughtful in my word choice, trying to anticipate questions in the drafting so that they would be addressed. Through that and through a couple of Zoom calls where I was trying to convey this message, I started to hear some negative feedback. People saying, I don't think he's being honest with us. I don't think he's sharing everything. I think the fact that we asked him direct questions and he didn't have direct answers means he's hiding things. And I'll be honest, my initial reaction was I got grouchy. I thought, man, I'm trying to share, I'm trying to do the best I can to be transparent, and people still don't appreciate that. They want all the answers right away. And so I learned that, one of the perils of transparent leadership is you're gonna set expectations for people. And I might be the only CEO they've ever experienced. I might be the only leader that they've ever encountered. You have to take the good with the bad there. That means that their bar for transparency and information coming from me is set by me. Another peril of transparent leadership is you're gonna have to be tremendously consistent, even down to your word choice when speaking with groups, because they're all bringing their own context to that conversation or to the intake of that message. So, one peril is you're gonna set the bar high for your level of honesty and for people's expectation of you. Another peril is people are going to expect also that you're extremely consistent in what you're doing. And yet another peril is people are going to fill in the blanks. Whenever they think that you're not being as transparent as you normally are, they're going to get concerned. It'd be a rare case where somebody said, oh, I didn't hear the level of transparency I wanted from our CEO. Must mean that I can construe that in the best possible way for me. So, for example, if the CEO said, oh, I'm not sure if there'll be raises or not this year, I'm going to guess that all your employees think that's code for there aren't going to be any. I doubt that any employees walk away and say, oh, I heard we're all getting raises. People don't fill in the blanks that way. And that leads me also to the conclusion that people will infer from your lack of transparency that you're trying to hide something from them and that you don't trust them. He's only not telling us, or she's only not telling us this because they don't think we can handle the information. What are they, crazy? How demeaning of them to not share. So when you're a leader, I still think transparency is the best because I think it engenders the most trust among your team. And I think people want to feel trusted, invested, and empowered. And if they don't, you got to rethink your hiring practices, I think. But I think we try to bring in people who feel empowered, who find solutions, who solve problems, and they want information. And it's the best approach, I believe, to be very transparent. But when you are, you've got to be prepared for people to question your transparency if you're ever less than, to listen to every word and make inferences, and to always have this really high expectation of you when you're speaking to them. So I say proceed with caution, but I still think leading transparently is the best approach.